Well, Minister of Energy and Electricity, Kgosientsho Ramokgopa, has announced the withdrawal of gazetted Section 34 process that made way for the procurement of nuclear energy. Ramokgopa issued a determination in the Government Gazette for the country to procure 2,500 megawatts of nuclear power. The plan to accelerate the introduction of nuclear energy has been strongly opposed by various civil society organizations and the Democratic Alliance, citing high costs and the lack of public consultations. SABC News economics reporter KATLEGO Legodi joins us live. Good afternoon, KATLEGO. It seems that it's back to the drawing board for government. Take me through what Section 34 entailed and why it's been withdrawn.
A very good afternoon to you, Anastasia, and to our viewers at home. You're right, it's back to the drawing board for the ministry and just basically NERSA that has been facilitating this particular process. We see the electricity minister really bowing to pressure, this being legal pressure that has been mounted by the Democratic Alliance and other just environmental groups that have taken issue with this gazette that we saw him just launch earlier this year. We see him just saying that when you look at it, they were right in what they were calling for, to say that there should have been a comprehensive public consultation where this process is concerned. Also, just talking about certain suspensions that would come through in terms of just ensuring that technology is taken into account here, but also ensuring that everyone is brought to the party and this procurement process is as transparent as possible. So we see the culprit here really being NERSA. When you look at it, the National Energy Regulator of South Africa, it has been taken to task, even the minister admitting that there are challenges there. Hence, we find ourselves here. He's going to be ensuring that he works with the team at NERSA to ensure that there's capacitation so that we don't find ourselves here again with these challenges that will be coming through. I'm going to bring into the conversation for a reaction with us this afternoon Chris Yelland. He's an energy expert. You were here in this briefing, even flighting questions to the minister there, just clarity around where we find ourselves. And we really, when you look at it, it's back to the drawing board. The processes were not done correctly. Maybe give us a sense of your understanding of what happened here and why really we find ourselves here.
The minister is really sensitive to the fact that the previous nuclear procurement failed. And it failed because of a legal challenge brought by two civil society organizations, the same two who have brought legal challenges in this particular instance for this procurement. And the minister is very sensitive that legal processes and challenges can derail the process yet again. So the two organizations I'm referring to are EarthLife Africa and an organization called SABC, who, as I say, previously challenged successfully the 9,600 megawatt nuclear procurement about 5 years ago, and they have challenged this one. So the minister conceded today that he agrees with the grounds on which these two civil society organizations, NGOs, made their challenge. And it was on the basis of inadequate consultation and the fact that NERSA, according to the minister, should have instituted a further public participation process after having received a report from the DMRE that the suspensive conditions had been met. I think there's a view that NERSA may not have properly exercised its mind. The minister, as you said, indicated that there are some significant failings at NERSA, inadequacies and lack of capacity, and that this has to be addressed. The bottom line in all of this is that the nuclear procurement has been put on hold for the time being, also pending this public participation process, as well as the need for a new integrated resource plan for electricity that looks at the whole rationality of this procurement, the supply-demand situation after 2030, remembering that the existing IRP only takes us up to 2030. And this new nuclear procurement is only going to come in after 2030. So there needs to be a new study done looking at the rationality, the economics, the supply and demand, which means the need for this procurement, and this still has to be done. So the two processes that I see are delaying the nuclear procurement are firstly a further public participation process, and secondly the need for another updated integrated resource plan for electricity, looking at the rationality of this decision post 2030.
I'm glad that you touched on the IRP, because this is anchored in the IRP 2019, and we see the minister even talking about that ambition of 2,500 megawatts, that can be changed as we see these processes just unfold. Maybe give us a sense of the need for this different energy mix in South Africa right now. We hear the minister saying that really when you look at it, it's inevitable that we're going to see the introduction of nuclear energy in the country. We just need the processes to be out of the way. But then when you look at it, there is a need for the country to go here. One of the issues that were raised were around why not ramp up renewable energy as we see it now and just ensure that we capacitate Eskom so we keep the lights on. But the minister saying there's no way that we can avoid the introduction of nuclear as part of the energy mix.
Look, in my view, the minister in that respect is putting the cart before the horse. Look, this new nuclear procurement is likely to result in new nuclear power coming to the grid in about 2033, 2035. And it's got a long life, 50 plus years of life. So one has to look at the need for new nuclear, not now. In fact, there is no need for it right now. The question is there a need for it in 2035 and beyond? And that depends on what is going to be built between now and 2035. And if one has a power system with an extra 60 to 70,000 megawatts of renewable energy and battery energy storage, the question is asked, is there a need for 2,500 megawatts of new nuclear when you've got 60 to 70,000 megawatts of variable renewable energy? What I think the country needs is not 2,500 megawatts of new nuclear power. What we need is flexible generation, which comes in the form of pumped storage, battery energy storage, and gas to power. Those are the technologies that can deal with the variability of renewable energy. 2,500 megawatts of new nuclear power, constant, steady, 24 hours a day, is not going to solve the needs of South Africa in 2035 when we have 70,000 megawatts of variable up and down renewable energy. That's where you need flexible generation. So I believe that the IRP, the new IRP, needs to fundamentally look at the rationale for new nuclear. Not only is it affordable, not only at what pace we should do it at, but is there actually a need for it at all? Now, I'm not saying there is no need for it. I'm just saying that you haven't done the study yet. Therefore, you should first of all do the study before you put the cart before the horse and say that we need new nuclear one way or another. That, to me, is opening the door for another challenge. Because if you have decided in advance that this is what you need, and that all you're doing now is going through a tick box exercise, doing a study, you may as well not do the study if you've already decided in advance. So I think there is a need to do this new IRP, to look at the whole rationality, the affordability, the alternatives. What are the alternatives that can be looked at besides nuclear? And whether it is needed in the face of 70,000 megawatts of variable renewable energy. Does it achieve what it set out to achieve?
Yeah. Kgosientsho, thank you very much, sir, for your time this afternoon, coming through as an energy expert, just giving us a sense of how he received the minister and what came out of this particular briefing. But it's back to the drawing board. As we speak right now, those teams that took the government to court, they're looking at this matter being entertained on the 15th and the 16th of October. And you hear the minister saying here that they're going to be embarking on this process of engaging with all of the legal teams to ensure that at least then this process is stayed off, and there's no need then to go to court as we see some of those concerns being adhered to.